right, welcome back. This is going to be part 109 of my presentation on dinosaurs and man, and this will be the last video of the topic of soft tissues found in dinosaur bones and fossils in general. And it will be the last video also of the evidences that I show in this presentation. But if you'll notice on the screen here, this is going to come from an article from Acts and Facts, February 2010, from the Institute for Creation Research. And so they did an article about some soft tissues. Now, they said fresh tissues, but I would call it more like soft tissues that are found in rock. And so this is what it is here. It's a fossilized salamander, interesting things that they found inside of it. It says paleontologists found intact, mostly dry muscle, complete with blood-filled vessels. Get that? Blood-filled vessels. The researchers made it quite clear that the detail revealed by the transmission electron microscopy imaging unequivocally identifies the organic remains as fossilized musculature from the salamander itself. The highest quality of soft tissue preservation ever documented in the fossil record. Now, of course, this was back in 2010 when this article came out. Now, listen, guys, they dated this thing at 18 million years old. 18 million years old. And again, let's go back to that one statement that it said. Paleontologists found intact, mostly dry muscle complete with blood-filled vessels. Blood-filled vessels. Now, I'm sure it's probably dried out, but still, it says blood-filled vessels. That's absolutely amazing. Now, that's going to be good and last for 18 million years. 18 million years. Now, let's go to another interesting thing. DNA in a fossilized egg. DNA in a fossilized egg. Australia, New Zealand, and Madagascar is the three areas that they're actually showing there. But it says here, in a scientific breakthrough that opens a window to now extinct animals from the prehistoric past, researchers have just successfully recovered DNA from several eggshells collected from Australia, New Zealand, and Madagascar, according to a new study in the latest proceedings of the Royal Society B. And so now, one of the things that I think that the three things that they found was the elephant birds, and one, that's going to be the Madagascar, and then an emu and an owl, that's going to be in Australia, and then the moas and the ducks, which is going to be in New Zealand. Now, just to give you some background on the elephant bird, it estimated to have weighed 880 pounds. 880 pounds. They believed that from the skeletal remains of it, it was 10 feet tall. That's a big bird. 10 feet tall. Now, that's your real big bird from Sesame Street. And they possibly went extinct around the 17th century, which have been about 1600s. Now, the egg that they found was more than 3 feet and 3 inches in circumference and 13 inches in length, with a volume of 160 times greater than a chicken egg. Now, let me show you something. This right here is an ostrich egg. Now, I got to get my notes here because I measured this bad boy right before this video. And this egg right here, my wife and I got this on a RV trip. We went and stayed at an RV ranch. We were the only ones there in an RV, but they allowed us to stay there. They're part of a website called Harvest Host. For some of you guys that's got RVs, check out Harvest Host. You'll stay at all types of places: museums, businesses, parking lots, farms. I mean, you name it. If it's a business, they can allow RVers to stay there. But just go to Harvest Host and just put in Harvest Host on Google, and you'll find it. Absolutely amazing. It does cost you to get in, as far as a membership to get in there, but you'll find all types of places. And we've stayed numerous different places all by ourselves. We're the only RVer there, but we stayed in an ostrich farm that raises ostriches and actually harvests them for their eggs and their meat. And but this egg right here, just to give you a little idea of how this would compare to the elephant bird. This egg is 16 inches in circumference. Big around. That's about 1.4 feet, and it is 6.5 inches. It's actually just a hair under 6.5 inches. Now, this moa bird, it was 3 feet around, 3 feet 3 inches around, and it was 13 inches tall. Which would, matter of fact, this ruler right here has a little bit of extra space here. Would give it an extra inch. So you're looking at this would be 13 inches tall. So you imagine this egg here. Now that moa bird is that much bigger. Than this ostrich egg. Absolutely gigantic. Now what is interesting about this ostrich egg though, it has the same volume as a dozen chicken eggs. It would hold the same amount if you would get out of a dozen chicken eggs. That's amazing. This is a real thick egg. I mean, it's real big, but they sell them there. All the eggs that doesn't fertilize, they hollow it out underneath, and they just empty the contents out, and they sell them for $20 an egg. It's pretty good. They're making some money off that stuff. But going back to the slides here, it says, furthermore, we were able to isolate DNA from eggshells from 3 countries, each with very different climate conditions. Basic materials within eggshells, calcium carbonate, and an organic matrix break down very slowly, helping to explain why shells don't compost well. The structure wards off decay, which protects contents right after the egg is first laid, but then facilitates preservation of the eggshell itself over millennia. Oskam explained that the moa eggshell has 125 times lower microbial contamination when compared to moa bone. This highlights eggshells as an attractive substrate for ancient DNA work, especially whole genome studies. Now, this right here, if you can see it on the screen, this is some other, I think there's 42 of them listed, fossil analysis with verified original soft tissues. And so if you guys can see that, it actually, if you just want to go, if I can get a link to this, I will put it in the description below. But it comes from ICR, Institute for Creation Research, and it's the published reports on original soft tissue fossils. If you guys want to look this up, you can actually get a copy of this chart here. And this here is again, if you guys can see this, now this right here is a list, another list. If you take that geologic time scale right there, that geologic column, they have found soft tissue preservation in fossils supposedly in every one of these areas here. They have found soft tissue remains in fossils, and so that are supposed to be millions and millions of years old. These should not be lasted. Of course, that last one there, which is chitin fibers and tube worms, which was dated at 551 million years old. And so that's at the very bottom there. And so, but again, this right here, a very good chart. You should be able to see these. Just pause the video and you can detail that. But they have found soft tissues in all of these. And of course, you can see the dinosaurs basically came in as a latter part of the Triassic period. The smaller ones did by geologic theory, by evolutionary theory, and then the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods was the times of the dinosaurs, and then of course they supposedly died off by their theory, and so I just wanted to note that down to give you a little bit more of a visual of how old some of these fossils are supposedly are, and but yet they're actually going to have soft tissues remaining. Again, it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. But other evidences: Answers Magazine, March through April 2019, Volume 14, Number 2. Delighting in the Details, pages 24 to 27. Santana Formation, Brazil. The astonishing mix of well-preserved dinosaurs, pterosaurs, fish and insects, skin, muscles, colors, hair, food in the stomachs, and even blood cells. Secular science don't know how insects could be preserved so well. It was as if the insects were buried and fossilized while still alive. And there's you some pictures there. The one to the left is blood cells have survived in the stomach of wasp, supposedly for millions of years. And then you got the picture one there is the filament in a wing, and number 2 is the spur in a leg, and number 3 is a wasp stinger. And so absolutely amazing evidences to prove that these fossils are not millions of years old. Okay, other evidences. Creation.com magazine, volume 46, number 1, 2024, DNA in turtle fossil challenges millions of years. Page number 7. Researchers recently discovered a turtle in Panama dated to about 6 million years old. Remarkably, the fossil included bone cells with traces of DNA. The turtle DNA could only just have lasted for 6 million years if it was constantly at below freezing temperatures. Since geological burial itself generates heat, Panama is in the tropics. The turtle's maximum age would be more in the area of 22,000 to 131,000 years old. Researchers studying the fossil remains of a duck-billed dinosaurs have found a vast array of dinosaur soft tissue within the bones. This latest find includes bone cells, blood vessels, and fibrous collagen-like structures. They also made the first ever discovery of osteocytes and blood vessels from a dinosaur backbone in its bony ossified tendons. Now, we talked about osteocytes and we talked about collagen. And so if you guys don't remember that, just check out the last 2 videos from this video and you will see that. Scientists examined 17 unfossilized, that's unpermineralized dinosaur bones of various types from a mass mortality bone bed, which is the graveyard. Every bone sample contained osteocytes described as abundant in 10 of them, and another 5 as frequent. 16 of these 17 samples contain blood vessels, some of which were described as hollow and even slightly pliable upon manipulation. In addition, 14 of the bones were found to contain fibrous collagenous matrix. And so, again, check out the last 2 videos that I did from this one, and you will learn more about the osteocytes and the collagen. Another one, here we go. Stunningly preserved skin of a fossil ichthyosaur. I'm not going to try that word, steno, whatever. You can see that, read it for yourself. Has revealed a wealth of original soft tissue and proteins. However, the fossil from Germany's Hausmaiden Posendona shell quarries was found in Jurassic strata dated at 180 million years old. There were remnants of the original skin, apparently scaleless, in the species. The research team were even able to distinguish different cellular layers within the skin of subcutaneous tissues, including a layer of fossilized blubber that contained original chemical traces. The blubber has ignited further debate on whether ichthyosaurs were warm or cold-blooded. Close examination of the demineralized soft skin unveiled pigment cells called melanophores. The researchers were able to identify the liver, which, when demineralized and treated, revealed original pliable organic material. Analysis also confirmed the remains of proteins such as tropomyosin, hemoglobin, and akeratin, elastin, actin, and collagen. Lead author of the study, Dr. John Lindgren, admitted soft tissues such as skin have hitherto been considered to be so labile, that's easily broken down, that the only way they could survive is via a full replacement of minerals. However, as it turns out, when these minerals are removed, some of the original organics remain. In order for these original biological substances to survive within the replacement minerals surrounding them, he said, they were exceedingly rapidly entombed in the minerals. And so, again, this would follow along with a global flood. By 2015, evolutionists were reporting on how an accidental discovery of blood and collagen in several dinosaur bones could rewrite textbooks. They further said it suggests that nearly every fossil science studied in the past century could contain similarly well-preserved blood and tissue samples. Soft tissues have been found in well over 100 fossils, including dinosaurs, mammals, birds, plants, reptiles, amphibians, clams, insects, and other arthropods, sponges, worms, and more. These fossils have been found all over the world, exposed to a variety of environmental conditions: cold, hot, wet, and dry. They have been found throughout the fossil record, from Cambrian to the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous period, and at all different levels, the oldest being a marine worm, supposedly 551 million years old, which you heard me state that already. Okay, we're going to stop right there. This is it, guys. This is my evidence. The next video will be my concluding remarks. And at that time, we will have 110 videos, 110 videos for this whole presentation. And that's not even including the videos that I shared also on top of this. Ian Juby's videos. He's got 6 of those with the Dinosaur and Man tracks. And then the interviews that Footprints in Stone did. I shared all those. So that's including those and the interview with Mary Schweitzer. And so, again, guys, just a bunch of good information for you guys. I just went over everything that I possibly could go over. And so, but again, I don't want to get too much ahead of myself. We're going to have some concluding remarks about the videos, about the whole presentation, kind of where I'm headed out from here, what's my plans in the future for this presentation, re-recording and stuff like that. And so, but you guys chew on this. We'll talk to you next time. I hope the Lord bless you real good. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.